Hi everyone, it's Monica and welcome back to Tailor Made Cards for You. Well, Happy New Year. I'm excited to be able to share with you a kit that I created sometime last year, but I never actually shared it with you, and I thought it would be perfect for our very first theme over at my challenge blog. For those of you that don't know, I am doing a challenge blog this year. I thought it would be kind of fun to have a platform for you guys to share some of your creations as well. And then as the monthly prize, I'm going to go ahead and be offering up a gift certificate for my shop. So if you guys do like working with some of these digital images, you'll be able to get those as a winner during the challenge. Now, all the information is going to be over at my blog, and I'll make sure that we leave all the information for the challenge down below in the description box. So be sure to check that out. And along with my project, I'm also going to have links to the design team projects for their videos as well. And then you can see their creations over on the challenge blog to kind of inspire you. Now, our first challenge this month is friendship. And I have this wonderful calendar that I got a while back. And it is a vintage calendar. Let's see if I can find a bigger calendar here. It is from 1915, and the value of a friend is kind of what the little saying is. And I went ahead and I scanned it and cleaned it up, and that's what we're going to be using on the card today. Now, this is also a freebie over in the shop, so I'll make sure I give you some information on how you can get this for some of your creations as well at the end of the video. So the project that I'm creating today is a friendship card, and I'm using some of the paper dolls from the shop. And this set, I want to say, is called Sally and Susan, but I have several paper dolls in the shop that are just so fun and so cute to work with. And they have little outfits that you can cut out, and you can use them as paper dolls if you wanted to. You can create the bigger version and just use them as little paper dolls, or you can size them down to use them on cards. And then once you have everything sized down, you can easily fussy cut your outfits as well as your paper dolls, and you can glue your outfits directly onto your paper dolls. But what if you wanted to add your outfit directly to your paper doll, but you don't have a program to do that like Photoshop? Well, I want to show you an easy way to do that using one of the Microsoft products called Publisher. So let me go ahead and give you a quick demonstration on how you can do that using these images along with the program. All right, so what I'm going to show you is how to dress your paper doll. So if you don't want to have to cut the paper doll individually along with the outfits, this is a way where you can size the outfits perfectly to your paper doll. And we're working with Publisher. Publisher is a program within the Microsoft family, so most of you should have this on your computer. So the first thing you want to do is just open up a blank page, and then you're going to pull in the documents that you want to work with. Now you're going to want to pull them in as pictures. So click on Pictures, and then from your file, just locate the image that you want to work with. Now we're going to be working with one of the paper dolls, and she's called Marie. So there's Marie. And then we're going to pull in a couple of outfits. So I clicked home. I'm going to go back to Pictures. Again, I'm going to find my file. And there's the little dress. Now, as you can see, this is just an overlay. I have Marie in the background, and then I have this one here. If you brought in your images and say you wanted this one to be in the foreground, what you can do is you can change which one is at the back and which one is in the front. So if I wanted to bring this one forward, I can just click on Bring Forward, and there it is right there. And then if I wanted to bring the dress forward, again, just bring forward or send backwards. So there's a little function for you right there. All right, so now that we know that the dress is going to go on top of the paper doll, we want to go ahead and size this down. And the way that you're going to do this is using this little arrow right here. All right, so we're just going to easily just size it down, just moving it, and that way it will get smaller for you. All right, and then you can grab it to move it up, and then to get an idea of how far down it is, I just like to bring it to the edge of the dress. And as you can see, I still have room to actually size it down a little bit more. So let's bring it down a little bit more. And then using my arrow key, if I don't want to move it with this grab tool, I can use my up and down arrows to just slightly move it. Now that looks pretty good, but I want to go ahead and just, again, test to see how much room I have on the bottom. And I don't have a lot of room, so I think I'm pretty good with that. So from here, I can go ahead and just click out of my box. I could save this, and I could size it down to the size that I want to work with. But let's say we had another image that we wanted to work with. Say we decided we didn't like this dress. Then all you need to do, again, is go to your pictures and pull in another file. And let's say we wanted to work with a pink dress instead of the yellow one. I want to show you a little trick here. So as you can see, the dress size of this one is 4.82. So we know we're going to have to size down the pink one again. But we already know what size it needs to be, right? It needs to be 4.82. So I can easily just come up here and type 4.82 because I know that's the size that will work. And then you just grab it with your tool. I'm just using my mouse, and then now I'm using my arrow keys to just adjust it a bit. Again, taking into consideration her shoulders, and then I'm good to go. So now I can decide which one I want to actually work with. I can work with the girl with the pink, or if I wanted to bring this forward, I could line this up and work with the yellow and then move the pink out of the way. Okay, so I went ahead and I cut out all the paper dolls, and as I indicated, this particular one, I had dressed her on my Photoshop, so it was just one cut. But these particular ones, I cut separately. Now you have to make sure that you size them down so their little outfits will fit. And that's the only challenge if you're doing it that way. You know, you can either get them big, print them out as I've done them, or you'll need to size them down. But once you get them sized down and they fit perfectly, then just save it, save your document size down to what you want, and then that way you can just print them over and over again. And as you can see, these little outfits are really, really cute. There's a few different outfits in the set, and they also have little hats. And with the little hats, you just need to make sure you use your X-Acto knife, you know, to cut through it, so that way you can put the little hat on their head when you're gluing it down. So it's just so adorable, very, very cute. And then this one, you know, of course needs to be cut as well. But I just wanted to show you the difference. This one, you know, I sized down a little bit smaller. With these dolls, you can size them down to exactly what you need. And that's what's fun about these. And then once you get them sized down, and then you know that the outfits will fit, just save your document, and then you're just ready to go when you're ready to print them. All right, so I'm going to work with these, and I've already picked the card stock that I want to use. I want it to go, you know, somewhat elegant for these, and then I'm using my friend calendar, and I want to go ahead and distress up the sides. So I'm going to go ahead and just use my distresser here to go ahead and make this look a little bit more distressed. And then I'm also going to add some distress ink to help age it as well. I think other than my Misty, this is probably one of my most used tools, because I love using it for all of my paper crafting. All right, so now that I've got it distressed, I'm gonna go ahead and get my Walnut stain, which is typically my go-to ink when I am distressing my edges. And then I have these little daubers here that I keep in my little container. And see, I have them all kind of labeled, so that way when I just need a quick edging, I'm ready to go. All right, so let's go ahead and just add our ink to our edge. It's a little bit messy, but that's what a vacuum is for, right? Okay, so I've got my backgrounds all ready to go. This is a very simple card. Like I said, the biggest not challenge, but the most time-consuming part of putting this together is sizing down your paper dolls and then fussy cutting them. Now, if you have a scan and cut, you could size them down that way as well, and then use your scan and cut to cut out your images if you're not a fan of fussy cutting. But again, with the scan and cut, you have to make sure that you have your images sized down so that way the little outfits will fit on your characters. All right, so I have my background, and now I'm going to go ahead and just add my characters. Now, as you can see, I went a little bit smaller. I mean, this would have fit, and I probably could do this as well. Maybe I will. But I wanted to make sure that the little characters showed. And then I also want to add some lace. So that's one of the reasons why I made them a little bit smaller. Because I wanted the value of the friend to show. And then I wanted to add some lace and then maybe some brads as well, just to fancy it up a bit. So let's go ahead and do that first. Okay, so the lace that I'm using is this antique lace that I have, and I don't know if I showed you that. I had quite a bit of it. This lace is available in my shop, and that's the nice thing about having a shop, right? I have all these supplies that I can dive into when I need them for my own projects, so that's always a bonus. So I'm going to go ahead and just add my ribbon first. And again, I'm looking for more of a vintage look, so that's why I wanted to add the lace to it. And depending on how it looks when I'm finished, maybe I'll add some buttons as well, but I'm not sure if I'll go that direction. We'll see once I've got this put together. All right, so this lace ties really nicely, and I'm just going to trim it down, and then we can go ahead and figure out where we want to put these. Now, these are all embellishments. You don't have to go this way, but I just like the way some of these extra embellishments look, and I like how these brads will match the paper as well. So let's go ahead and get this going. And the paper is just some paper I found in my stash. I wanted, like I said, I wanted to have it look a little bit elegant, and this is kind of a nice look. All right, and then we'll add our brads. And the glue would have worked fine, like I said, but I just like the way that the extra embellishments look, especially with this paper that already has kind of a copperish tone to begin with. So it just kind of ties the card together. All right, so I've got my brads. And then now all I need to do is add my little characters. And I think I'm going to go over the lace. And as you can see, they're perfect. That way I can go ahead and keep them where I can still show my little friend. All right, let's go ahead and get some pop-ups rather than glue it down. Okay. Now remember, if you are working with little dolls where you have to add the outfits, I would recommend adding the outfits first, and then that way if you need to do any trimming, so for instance, there's the outfit, if you don't want, you know, part of the hand to show there, you can trim it before you actually glue it down. So as long as you get close enough to the measurements, you can always do a little bit of trimming if you need to. But you don't want the outfit to look too big on them. That's why you want to make sure you get as close to the doll size as possible. And what I may do if I have time, I may go in and modify these. So that way they already have the sizes down for the A2 or the 5x7 cards. We'll see. I know a lot of people like to do their own sizing down, and that's why when I created the kit, I didn't necessarily size them down for any particular card. That way you can size them down to what you need. But I know not everybody is necessarily comfortable with doing that, so perhaps if I have some time I'll go back in and do some modifications. But otherwise it's not that difficult to size them down. You just want to make sure that you're paying attention to your measurements when you're sizing down the images. Alright, so there's the one little girl, and then as you see, I'm just adding some walnut stain to get rid of some of that white edge when I fussy cut her. Okay, and then we'll add this one. I just love this really thin tape. I got it from a shop that had the really thin sentiments. I can't remember the shop exactly. If I remember, I'll add it in the description along with all of the other supplies, because this works really well. Otherwise, of course, you can, you know, trim down your own tape or use smaller pieces. But it's always nice to have these long strips, especially for some of these longer images. And then you can make sure that you can easily distribute your foam tape. All right, so let's go ahead and get these backings off. And we'll get her popped down. So cute. Okay, so I'll just put her right there. And that's it. All I need to do is just add this to some white cardstock, and then I'm ready to go. Now before I head out, I wanted to show you again just how easy it is to put these together. So you know, with this, with the little hats, you're going to have this edge here. So just take your X-Acto knife and cut open the slit so that way you can slip her head in there. And if you don't get it with the first cut, you know, once you get it going, you can stick your X-Acto knife inside, and then that way the little hat will fit right on her head. And then, like, so cute. And then you're going to take your outfit and glue it on. So let's go ahead and do that so I can show you how easy it is to dress these little dolls. Now if you wanted to keep the paper dolls, remember they had the little tabs, but I did cut those off because I knew I was going to be dressing the little characters here. And then just line it up. I would recommend wet adhesive so you have some movement. Okay. And then, like I said, if you need to trim this down a little bit, you can do that as well. It's not going to show, especially when you put it on a card. So you can just, you don't even have to be that precise about it because it's not going to show. And then you have your little paper doll. And then let's go ahead and put a little bit of glue here also so her hat doesn't come off when we're gluing it down. All right. So that is that one. And then for this one, let's go ahead and do the little sailor suit. Alright, so again, just kind of lining it up. And then again, if you have any excess hanging out, just you can do a little trim job here. It's not going to show because you have the little outfit covering the body part. See, it's perfect. And then the little hat, what do we do with that little sailor hat? Oh, there it is. Put a little bit of glue. And then these are ready to go on some cards. See, as easy as that. So I hope that you've enjoyed my video here using these cute little paper dolls. And if you have a chance, don't forget to check out the new challenge blog that I'll leave links below for. And if you just link up, it's going to be anything goes with an optional challenge of friendship this time. So the design team is going to be coming together using some of these little paper dolls and some other ones that are in the shop to give you some ideas for some friend cards. So as always, I'll leave a list of everything that I've used to create these along with the links to the stores. And if you've enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and pop over to the challenge blog too and go ahead and subscribe to that blog. That way you'll be notified when new challenges begin. And at the end of the video, I will share some photos of my finished cards. So be sure to stick around and check those out as well. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll see you again next time.